Hello, how's it going? Good morning, good evening, whatever time you happen to tune into this. So, I'm on a walk, obviously, I'm outside. And, and I just recorded a video, really proud of that. But after I stopped recording, I kind of noticed more the pain that was happening in my tummy. And I started thinking about energy management. I do think that energy management is very important. I've talked about it before, I'll talk about it again. But it is so important to be mindful of where your energy is going and how you are taking in energy, you know? Like, it's such a tiny thing that becomes a big thing when you really think about it, when you really sit with it. Because when you think about how everything is energy, everything can be boiled down to energy. You know what I mean? Everything is a collection of atoms, a collection of molecules, whatever you want to phrase it. And so sometimes you really have to break it down and be like, okay, how much energy am I putting out? How much energy, what kind of energy am I taking in? You know what I mean? What kind of stuff am I watching? What kind of things am I eating? You know? Because one thing about it, I do smoke marijuana. I do. Marijuana cigarettes. Yes, yes, yes. And point blank period, I'm not going to lie to myself and say that it's anywhere near healthy. It's not a healthy habit. Like, I hate people who try to justify their habits. It's not a healthy habit. In the last week, I said it to several people. I was like, it's not a good habit. Like, I went to a different vape store that I'm not used to. And the guy in there, unrelated, he was very attractive. He was very sweet, very kind, I think. And when I was telling him what I wanted, he was like, I don't smoke. Or no, I think I asked him if he smoked. He was like, no, I don't smoke. And I was like, that's good. That's because that is not a good habit to smoke. And I was telling somebody else, I think on live stream or something, like, it's not a good habit to smoke. Like, it might help with stress. It might help with different things, but it's not healthy. It's not. Putting smoke into your body, it's not healthy. But there are other things you can do to be more healthy if that's your goal, if that's your desire to be healthy, you know? And that's where energy management comes in. And I think, honestly, when I was addicted, when I was on the street doing hardcore drugs, I think that's what saved me to some degree. Sure, we can talk about prayer, we can talk about spirituality, but I think energy management, being super mindful of my energy, is one of the things that helped me. And I've talked about this in my book. Check out my book, link to you in the description. I've talked about it before. Like, being mindful of how your energy is going out, how much of your energy is going out, what kind of energy you're bringing into your system, you know? Like, recently, the last couple weeks, I've been making it a point to listen to affirmational, motivational AI music. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not actively listening to it, I've made it a point to, like, play it throughout my day. And it's been really helpful, for sure, for shizzle. Do I always feel like listening to that sort of music? No. But it helps. You know what I mean? Like, this morning was very heavy. I woke up and I didn't really want to get up. I did allow myself to sleep a few hours later than I usually do. But when I finally was ready to get up, I started playing that music. And that was something that helped me, you know what I mean? And like I said before, I haven't smoked yet. I do not have marijuana in my body as far as I'm aware. Well, it's in my body, but you know what I mean? It's not actively in my system as far as I'm aware. And I don't know how long I can go like that, because after a while the pain becomes so much, and then I have to work twice as hard to redirect my focus, you know what I mean? Because then the pain is where I'm focused, and the pain is, you know what I mean? And that's a word on unhealed trauma, unhealed pain, like the ways in which unhealed trauma will make people do crazy things, because sometimes that's all you hear, that's all you feel. The pain in your body, the voice in your head screaming at you, sometimes that's all you hear, that's all you can feel. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, that's why I have sympathy, that's why I have empathy for, like, people who do fucked up shit. Because a lot of times they're doing that because something within them is hurting so badly that it made sense. It was justified in their head that they could do X, Y, and Z, you know? I'm not saying it's necessarily justified, but it could make sense. It could be rationalized, you know? And like I said before, like, if you disagree with that, that's fine. But like I said before, I think a big reason why a lot of people are unsuccessful in life is because of a lack of curiosity. Like if you have no, like, how do I say this? I love making music. I love recording. But there's also a curiosity there that helps to drive me forward with it. You know, a curiosity to see how far I can go, see what I can create, see what I can do with my voice. You know, and if I didn't have that curiosity, I think there would be so many things that didn't get created, you know? And truthfully, the only way to develop a sense of curiosity is to genuinely be curious. Like, you have to want to be curious. You know what I mean? Because I will say, we live in a dangerous world, and there's a lot of reason to not be curious, to not go poking around, to not go exploring. There's a lot of reason to not do those things. But when you do, you open up a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a shorter video, and if I could offer you anything in this moment, I would say, please have a sense of curiosity for the world. Don't go around thinking that you know everything, that things are just to be fixed, and that's it. Sometimes all you need is understanding. All you need is understanding. Like, I laughed because I repeated it. And if you disagree, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But, like, objectively look at where your life is and look how your life is and see that you don't need a little curiosity. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when I say curiosity, that can mean a whole lot of different things. Like curiosity on how you can improve something in your life. You know, you got to start asking the correct questions to get the right answers, you know? Curiosity to see, like, if you can, like, have a successful relationship, you know, start a family. Like, curiosity is so important. And maybe it's because I'm a Gemini. Maybe that's why. Because I have that childlike wonder within me at all times. But, you know, you got to be curious about things. And, oh my God, I was on live stream, and I think it's the nails. I think that's why people have been more bold with asking certain things or saying certain things about my sexuality. But I don't remember what I was talking about. But I had a couple guys on YouTube saying that, well, it was one guy in particular, and I feel like he was like, I don't know. There was one guy in particular who was saying that I was like a bi-curious guy's dream or something, or inspiration, that's what he said. And I understood what he meant, but I just thought it was so funny, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not my desire anymore. That it's flattering, I appreciate being your muse, but I've been there, I've done that, I bought the t-shirt, it didn't fit. Because I was talking about curiosity, and it's the flip side of curiosity. Like, they were curious, and, you know, I entertained that. And it's fun sometimes being on that end of things, but I don't know. If you're not careful, if you do it with the wrong people, it could really turn sour, and I've witnessed that. Thankfully, not so much firsthand, but I've definitely witnessed that. Like, people who were curious and took a leap, and then that turned into something that it probably didn't need to be, if you get my drift, i.e. violence and shit like that. I think the problem with a lot of people, though, and their own curiosity is that, like, it doesn't usually lead anywhere, and it's, like, often not really honored, if I could say it like that. Like, a lot of people, and not everybody, obviously, but, like, how do I say this? I'm trying to figure out the right way to say that. But yeah, a lot of people have a curiosity, but then when they figure it out, it's like, okay, fuck this, I don't care anymore. And, like, when it comes to sexuality, that's also a thing. Like, a lot of people would, like, be curious in somebody, figure it out, and then just be like, whatever, I don't care about this anymore, I don't care about you, you're just like an object. And it makes you think of why, because I was having a conversation with a mutual, and I was like, I love magic, I love me some occult shit, but, oh shit, okay, whatever. But yeah, I love me some magic, I love me some occult energy, and I was like, why does it have to be so secretive? Why does it have to be, like, under the table? And she was basically like, because not everybody needs to have awareness of it, not everybody needs to have ownership of it, because some people abuse it. I definitely agree with that. And it's the same idea with curiosity, I think. Like, a lot of people abuse their own curiosity, you know what I mean? Like, they're curious about something, and then they make it their whole personality until, like, it becomes detrimental to themselves or to other people, and then, like, and then nobody wants it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're going to lean into curiosity, I think it's really important to be mindful and to respect your own curiosity, and not just to be like, oh, I figured it out, I know the answer, I don't care anymore. I think that's so unproductive, unhelpful. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna end this here. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. I thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. I hope you know miracles happen all the fucking time, bro. If you truly believe, if you truly align. And whatever you are going through is temporary. So try to keep your head up, try to keep your spirits high. You're gonna make it through this, I promise. Or maybe you won't, I don't know. But I think you will. So, bye. Love you, bye.